Hi, I'm Jonathan Knight, and this is B Movie Madness. The movie I'm going to review tonight, well, let me get my good old-fashioned trash can. Now, even though I'm getting the good old-fashioned trash can, I will say right now this movie is far, far, far from trash. In fact, this movie was one of the best independent horror movies I've seen in a long time. Not to say I haven't seen some good independent horror movies in the past few years, but this one is easily the best one. And that is, sorry, I had a bloody good time at House Harker. Or as I like to call it, I had a bloody fucking good time at House Harker because this movie was a blast to watch. Now, this movie was sent to me by Derek Hagen, who is a part of my Facebook group, B Movie Madness. He's been part of it for over 2 years now. He was there when there was like maybe 100 people, and now it's up to 2,000 people. So he's been there when there was not little to nobody. Now he's there when there's a shit ton of people. I recently watched the people and him and the people involved with this movie, which I will get to mentioning their names. They did a web series called Good Cops that Derek posted on the group, and I watched it, and I absolutely loved it. I thought it was hilarious, and I think the Halloween episode in particular is hilarious. I'll be posting. I'll embed that video at the end, and I'll also put a link for it. Then he messaged me after I commented on it about reviewing this, and I was like, "Sure, man. Just send it along. I'll give it a look." Because I think he was a little nervous about me watching it because it's always nervous to have somebody take a look at something you've made and give a critique on it. Um, I can understand that. I've reviewed quite a few movies, and I always have a hard time saying anything negative. I've done it. I've done written reviews back in the early 2000s where I was negative. I had screeners that sent to me, and I had to be negative about them, and I really didn't like it. I'm not one of those people. I don't like being negative. I will if I have to be, especially if I have to review something. So it is so great when you watch something you really like, legitimately really like, because it makes it so much easier to talk about the movie. It's easier to really trash a movie because you can say a whole bunch of funny shit like the angry video game nerd and all that. But it's really, really more fun to talk about your movie you really like because not only did you get enjoyment out of it, but the people who made the movie can be like, hey, someone enjoyed what I made that I worked hard on. And this is an example of a movie that you can tell every single person involved in this movie worked their asses off on it. Not only did they work their asses off, you can see every single bit of work, passion, and creativity that was put into this product. I'm like showing it off, like there we go, but it's worthy of it. You can see it in every single frame, and that's what makes it so much fun to watch. This is a movie that I could rewatch like right now. If I wasn't reviewing this or reviewing it, I'd be watching it probably because it's one of those movies that if I'm bored, I can instantly put it on and be like, and find enjoy it. My hands are going everywhere. Now, before let me tell you what the movie's about first. For generations, the Harker family has protected the cursed skull of the last master vampire, the source of all vampire power on Earth. But in modern day Midwestern town, no one likes the last remaining Harker siblings because they believe in vampires, and as everybody knows, vampires don't exist. To prove their family legacy, the Harkers misuse county renovation money to turn their historical home into a theatrical vampire reenactment show. And when the two dead bodies turn up with strange animal marks, the Harkers convince the town that a vampire is on the loose and promise to kill it on stage in the family home. Their plans go awry when the actor they hire turns into a real vampire. Oh. And gains incredible power. Now the fate of the world lies in the hands of the unprepared generation of vampire hunters who must overcome their own shortcomings to fill the destiny as the hairs of House Harker. I can never say it right. Hairs. Yeah, that's you know, that's a very good plot description. And just reading that just makes me want to watch the movie again. It's really good job, and it's a good job taking the Harker, Jonathan Harker, and showing his family generate the future generations of that family having to deal with the fact that no one believes in vampires. Vampires are pieces of fiction, even though they are real. At least in this movie world, vampires are not real, kids. And it's about two brothers and a sister, the Harker siblings, and their friend Ned Morris, played by Derek Hagen, who are trying to, just put on this show for the for the town. The town just thinks they're jokes. And first of all, the acting in this, well, no, first of all, I think every aspect of this movie, from the acting to the directing to the camera work to the special effects to the music, is all incredibly polished and well done. That it kind of blew me away while watching it because I'm not trying. I was expecting something a little cheaper looking, not because I didn't think these guys would pull it off. It's just that's what I'm used to. I mean, and I'm fine with that. But this movie just blew me away how good it looked. It looked incredible, and they even shot it in a wider aspect ratio, 2:40 actually. And I was like, what? At first, I was like, no one shoots in that, but these guys are like, fuck you, I'm shooting in that. Sorry, my TV's loud. Um, but yeah, and it just everything looked incredible, and the acting. Derek Hagen as the friend Ed Morris. He's that guy that who's in love with the one Harker sister, the younger sister of the Harker sister, and she is dating the sheriff, and she just not interested in him, and he's doing everything in his power to show that he likes her, and he just keeps failing miserably and all that. And he's that guy. I've been that guy. I'm sure there's people out there who's been that guy that's trying to show their love to somebody that's like, well, I got someone else. And Jacob Givens as Jerry Harker. He's the lead of the Harker family. He's a struggling actor. He was in a movie called Twirl, which is not well respected in the town they live in. People make fun of him for it. It looked like an entertaining movie to me, but what do I know? He's the one that's really trying to push this, stage show for the town, and the town's like, yeah, I don't think so. Noel Carroll, if I'm saying that right, who plays Charlie Harker. He is I think Jerry's the older brother. Charlie's the slightly younger brother, and he has problems expressing his emotions, I believe. And he talks to a pencil, and of course everyone in town picks on him. And his younger sister actually has to protect him all the time. And what's great about his character is they set that up in the movie that he has this, he talks to the pencil and everything, that he has these problems. And there's this great character arc with him where eventually you see how that plays out in the finale. I'm not going to try to get heavy spoilers in it, but it's really satisfying because they set it up at the beginning and you see it play out in the finale, and that's really cool. And I think pretty much every character has that kind of arc, but I think Charlie's is the strongest, in my opinion. And then there's Paige Harker, who's actually played by, I wrote down, Whitney Moore, who, for the life of me, I kept on looking at her and been like, I know this person. Like, I've seen her in other movies, but I just couldn't, and then I mentioned it on Facebook, and somebody said it's the woman or girl from Birdemic, and I believe Birdemic 2. I've only seen Birdemic 1. I was like, holy shit. And, Birdemic is an awful movie. I enjoy the hell out of it. But with the right material, she does a fantastic job. She's very good looking, of course, but she does a good job. She's a very strong character, and she gets to kick some ass, too. There's also, I wrote his name down, and he's part of my group, too. I'm going to name drop him again at then. Arian Godthab. I hope I'm mispronouncing the fuck out of that. I will say I'll apologize straight up, but Arian plays Walter, who is an ex-priest turned vampire hunter. He's an elderly neighbor of the Harker family. And there's a great sequence which shows a younger version of him, which does a parody of The Exorcist, where he keeps getting thrown up on by all these demons, Exorcist style, and it's hilarious. And he eventually ends up with his wife because he thinks she's possessed by a demon because she's a bitch. Um, but he's great too. He's part of the main cast as well. It's pretty much them, um, and they're all great. I think it's funny how good the acting is because there's not one bad actor in the bunch in my opinion. Everybody, even the extras and the side characters are all good. As for the um, special effects work, the makeup was great. I thought the makeup on the lead vampire was actually really good. Um, it was kind of uh, how do I describe it? Like one of those kind of reminded me like Nosferatu meets one of the vampires from Dusk Till Dawn, but grayish. But I'm probably off on that. But he looked really cool. I thought he looked really cool. And the gore, I think all the gore was practical. There's a lot of gore, especially in the third act. When the real vampire gets to the Harker house, it becomes a bloodbath. It is just gory as all hell. It's so much gore. It gets really red because when the vampires die, they kind of explode blood. Um, and it's a super wet movie. I'm just warning you right now, and it's all practical, and it looks great. In fact, the CGI in the movie is used for like when the vampires vanish and reappear, like smoke. That stuff even looks good. CGI in independent movies, it's kind of one of those things where it's hard to do because it's hard to make it look good on a very small budget. But they do what any smart independent director or filmmakers would do, and that's use it when it's necessary. They don't overuse it because pretty much all the gore is. I think there might have been a slight enhancement to maybe one or two kills, but for the most part, like the gore is practical. You got people getting thrown into tree trimmers and just it's blood everywhere, and it's funny as all fuck too. There's a part when Derek Hoggins' character Ned, a fat vampire, just gets on top of him and he can't get up. He just has to lay there and just sing to himself. That's hilarious to me. Um, it's really a lot of fun. And um, the music's really good. The original songs for the movie, especially the one in the end credits, I believe it's played early on in the movie, but the end credits is really great. The songwriter for that, because that guy's name down here was Tim Sloan. He was also the sound designer on the movie, and everything sounded great. The sound effects were great. That's one of the other problems with independent movies. Sometimes the sound effects sound really fake. They did not sound fake here. They sounded actually really well done. And overall, yeah, and the movie only runs about 80 minutes, so it's super fast. There's not one slow moment in this movie. It runs at a fast clip. It's the perfect movie to watch when you're like, I need something that's quick, to the point, and entertaining as all fuck. Bam. That's all you need. I want to give a special shout out to, of course, Derek. I'm trying to. I asked you beforehand, so I'm not. Derek Hoggins, who I'm going to shout out to all the people involved in this movie who are part of my group on Facebook, and that's Derek Hoggins, Jacob Givens, Tim Sloan, and again I apologize if I'm mispronouncing this. Aaron Godthab. Hope that is. But I also want to give a big shout out to the people who are not, who did an incredible job and work. And that is Clayton Cogswell. Clayton Cogswell, who is the director of this movie. He did a fantastic job. It is so well shot and put together, so damn good. And see, Noel Carroll, who plays Charlie Harker. Fantastic job, um, fantastic character. He's probably my favorite character simply because that the whole arc with him I thought was just beautifully done. But a shout out to Whitney Moore as well. She did a great job too. Um, but shout out particularly to Derek Hoggins for actually Hagen Dazs. That's how you told me to pronounce it. Derek Hagen, who sent me this movie to watch and review and let him know in general what I felt about it. And I still hold it's one of the best movies I saw this year. It's one of the most entertaining independent movies, one of the best independent movies I've ever seen. It's just so damn good. If you want to watch the movie, I got some good news for you. You can buy it on Amazon, of course, which I do recommend you doing. But if you're a little bit tight on cash, you can watch it free on Tubi. Tubi has a incredible selection. I mean, they have so many horror movies from independent to classics. much like this, you can watch this on Tubi. And if you like it, buy a copy. Tell your friends about it. Tell your neighbors. I mean, well, everybody, you're supposed to stay inside and stay away from people. Tell them through social media about it. Be safe. But yes, if you want to watch it, you can buy it on DVD on Amazon, or you can watch it for free on Tubi. Either way, watch it. If you were a fan of vampire movies, this is one of the best vampire movies to come out in a long freaking time. I can't remember the last good vampire movie I've seen. I probably could think of one if I thought about it, but it's been so long that I can't. But I had a bloody good time at House Harker is one of those for me. Um, Again, thank you to Derek and the entire cast and crew of this for doing an incredible job. You guys just knocked it out of the park. But again, thank you for sending me a copy. I really appreciate it. I appreciate any support anyone throws my way for this channel. It means so much to me. So if you like my channel, or if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, comment, ring the little bell thing. If I forgot to mention anybody that was involved in this movie, I highly apologize. It's just so hard. There were so many notes and all that. It was just swarming in my head. But again, I'm Jonathan Knight. And this has been Movie Madness. Thanks for watching.